All right, my loves, day 35. Something crazy happened in a mastermind this weekend where collectively we have just tapped into all our magic, and all of a sudden, our visions, which we shared in the group simultaneously, had changed in the same way. So we all started in this place, and then some magic happened. We had some conversations, some realizations. And then hours later, oh my god, this word, simultaneous, at the same time, um, we came back, and the vision that we had before, the same vision we had before, changed for multiple people inside the group. And so that's crazy. And that's when I went and asked God about the creation of timelines, because the visions that we had were visions from the past. And so then we did this magic work, and the vision from the past changed. And it showed information that we didn't have before, which was then told to us this really happened. And then we changed it, like a bad thing that happened, and we changed it. Okay. Dear God, what would you have me know today? Good morning, sweetest. Yes, time is your creation. It is not set in stone, and it only exists as your perception and as a memory of your perception. When you intend for a future that hasn't been there before, a past that aligns perfectly with this future appears. This past will have prepared the new future. This past will have created the version of you that aligns with the new future that you have just created. Anything can be created by you with just a single thought. The challenge is to hold up the belief in this newly created reality long enough that your physical world can align to it and you live into it as it opens its doors for you. As a collective, you become a super creator. The stakes for the individual are less as they are distributed across the whole. You become lighter, and at the same time, your belief grows stronger because you know others are with you. Keep up the playfulness and make sure to notice and share the magic. It amplifies your experience, your belief, and your power. This is what I created for you. This is the power that you have in your hearts. Use it. The world is waiting. Love, God. It's crazy. So, what always baffles me, and I'm so grateful that I actually saw that when I was very high on a very strong psychedelic trip with magic mushrooms years ago now. What time was that? It's yet 6 years ago, over 6 years ago. I was in Thailand with my oldest friend. I had never taken magic mushrooms before, and I wanted to try it. So my friend had some experience, and we trust each other fully. And so she said, "Okay, I'll watch you. I'll be here sober with you and make sure everything is okay." And we, through a contact, found a place where we could purchase a drink that had psychedelic mushrooms in it. Did not know how much one takes for a regular trip. Did not ask how much was in that cup. We did a beautiful emotional clearing and ceremony and intention setting, so that part was covered. But the facts didn't ask. And it turned out to be quite a load. And I ended up tripping hard for almost 6 hours. And for a psychedelic mushroom trip, that's quite a bit. Um, and so there, time and space and the physicality of my existence all dissolved. And I remember distinctly at some point, because I drank this whole like cup. And so after hours, my friend was like, you must have to pee. And she knows that the body is not important when you're tripping so high. All the physicality is not important because you're not the body. And so she said, okay, let's go to the restroom and you pee, and then I'll bring you back here. I was like, okay, following. And of course, getting me to the restroom was a challenge because I stopped and looked at the plants and at everything and the butterflies and everything all the time, and I needed to study them. Then at some point, she got me there, and I sat down. And I remember distinctly in that moment, that was because before I was just marveling at the nature around me, but then inside that room, it was only me, and so I marveled at my arm. I looked at my arm, and I was like, "Oh my god, it is so funny that usually I think my arm is solid, my body is solid, and now I know it's not. I just know it's not. It's just an illusion that my body is actually solid." And so I looked at my arm and I was like, "I will remember this truth. I know I'm tripping hard and high right now, but I will remember this truth." And so I remembered this truth. And I am so glad that this code unlocked in this moment, even though now I'm like, well, it seems pretty solid. So I'm kind of torn there. But I had this imprint and this knowing that there is a way to look at reality and to see reality where nothing is solid, nothing is set in stone. And what I am learning now, being so much further into the whole, like, what is life and what is reality, even, um, that there are many levels to our reality. There is the physical level, and that's the physical realm. And the same expression exists on a higher frequency plane. And then we get to emotion. And then higher frequency plane, we get to pure energetics. And a higher frequency plane, then we get to the mental place. And then a higher frequency, higher frequencies. And it's the same, it's the expression of the same thing on higher and higher levels. And so when we look at the physical level, this is the slowest vibrating level. So everything comes in as thought. Everything exists as an idea before it exists in the physical world. A chair, someone, sometime thought about a chair. They thought about it first, and then it became a physical object. Same with every invention, same with everything in our life. It has to be there in the energetic realm first. And then at some point later, it appears in the physical realm, which means looking at our lives, seeing the physical realm, and predicting the future from that just keeps us trapped in wherever we're at right now. What we have to understand is all that exists around us has been there first in the mental plane. And then it was channeled down, brought down, invented down into the physical realm. Now, what we understand is that when we want to create something new, whatever, you're a scientist, you want to come up with something new, or in this letter from God, or what happened in the mastermind, if you want to create a whole new timeline, a whole new reality where something shifts, initial miracle healings are these kind of things. Some people even, which I have not yet experienced that. Let me just think, have I? No, I don't think. Perhaps I'm missing something, but people wake up and there's just one specific story that I remember. They go into their bathroom in the morning and they're like, "Wait, I did not have this brand of like a sink, like sinks or a toilet. They are made by companies. I did not have this brand before. I wanted to get these. I wanted to remodel my bathroom. How did this happen?" So they actually jumped timelines. In order to create anything new, we have to become as light as possible. And that means as detached from what's actually in front of us as possible. And for me, the understanding helped that the physical world just vibrates slower. So that means for something to come into the physical world, it just needs more time. And so that means everything that is here needed more time to come here. So when I want to play in the higher frequency realms and actually pull in new things into my feeling experience, into my mental experience, into my physical experience eventually, I have to let go of the idea that the physical world is everything there is. And as an individual, that is not the easiest thing to do because we look into our lives and we're like, well, this is the situation, isn't it? But when you begin to play, and that's what happened inside that mastermind with this miraculous thing, this creation of a new timeline, the stakes are lower because all of a sudden we're playing and we're in this together. So we're all playing the same miracle game. And so if it doesn't work for all of us. So the stakes for the individual are lower. At the same time, our power is higher. Our belief in it is higher. Our joy with it is higher because we're in it together. And so that's the manifestation piece. And I think that's fascinating. And it's always like I like to repeat these things because for me, it was also, I listened to these things for so many times and from so many different people. And they, at some point, something landed, and then something had just like said something in a slightly different angle, and then it landed. And so, because it took such a long time for me to understand these things, and I am someone who just wants to understand these things, I cannot just trust. I know I actually can because something happened in my brain and body, but before I needed to understand. And so I talk about it. And then the timeline thing, that is fascinating because if you create a new future, which the creation of a new future happens if you can let go of what's in front of you as evidence right now. Evidence is the last piece of a chain of events. There are multiple, countless pieces of this chain that happen, pulling it in mentally, feeling it, entangling with it, pulling it into creating the creational process happens way before the evidence, the physical world is the last piece. So, creating a future is allowing to let go of whatever is now, whatever we know of the past, whatever. We just decide that we can create whatever future we want to create by becoming light, playful, detached from what we see as evidence in the here and now. And so we begin to create a future by imagining it, by tuning into it, by imagining how it will feel, by just spending time with it mentally and emotionally. And then a certain future becomes more and more probable. And then at some point, it aligns with us energetically because we have actually, in the here and now, brought ourselves into the energetic frequency of that beautiful future that we want to create. Hopefully, it's beautiful what you're creating with your thoughts. And hopefully, you're not spending hours and hours and hours, days and days and days in worry and worst case scenarios. Because then that is what you're pulling in. So become a master of your mind. And so we create this future. And as it aligns with us, as it becomes our future, because we have locked in, all of a sudden, a past timeline appears that makes sense on this energetic string, vibrational string from this beautiful future. Well, someone who with this beautiful future, they must have had a beautiful past. And that does not mean that the things that we have experienced in our life didn't happen. All the parallel timelines, all the different scenarios, all the different ways to look at our life, they exist at the same time. Again, this word that I cannot say, simultaneously. They all exist. It is just a matter of where do we place ourselves. Beautiful future and past? Nah. Future and past? Bad future and past. Energetically, they're offerings at all times. And we decide where we place ourselves. And what happened in that mastermind, and it's still like my brain is like, so, but how exactly did this happen? There was a sad past memory. Then we worked on clearing the energy and collectively creating a better future around this topic where something sad had happened. And then all of a sudden, our visions, past life visions, collectively changed. And what was shown to us was a beautiful past, a beautiful memory. All right. That's all I could say. It's a little mysterious to me too, which I enjoy the mystery. And we read again. Dear God, what would you have me know today about creating timelines? Good morning, sweetest. Yes, time is your creation. It isn't set in stone, and it exists only as your perception and as a memory of your perception. That was the past that we changed. When you intend for a future that hasn't been there before, a past that aligns perfectly with this new future appears. This past will have prepared the new future. This past will have created the version of you that aligns with the new future. Anything can be created by you with just a single thought. The challenge is to hold up the belief in this newly created reality long enough that your physical world can align to it and you live into it as it opens its doors for you. As a collective, you become a super creator. The stakes for the individual are less as they are distributed across the whole. You become lighter, and at the same time, your belief grows stronger because you know others are with you. Keep up the playfulness and make sure to notice and share the magic. It amplifies your experience, your belief, and your power. This is what I created you for. This is the power that you have in your hearts. Use it. The world is waiting. Love, God. All right, my loves. I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow.